Hi everyone, welcome back. We are continuing with Act 2, so we're going to pick up with Scene 4 today. And before I jump in, I just want to reiterate some of the information that we talked about before even beginning Macbeth, and that is that Shakespeare had been writing this play to flatter the king, King James I, who had been named from Scotland, right? So um, many people probably were not keen on this idea of appointing a Scottish king as head of England. And so um, Shakespeare might have been also trying to communicate to the audience that man should not mess with God, right? They believed in divine right at the time. So God is the one who appointed James to be king. And so if you were to commit murder and kill King James, right, then nature would kind of go crazy, right? And God would not be mad or would not be pleased with this. And so he is probably commenting on that as well in this scene. So it's a very short scene. It was a very short act, but we'll get started here. So we have Ross with an old man. Okay, 70 I can remember well, which would have been 70 years. So three score is three 20-year periods plus 10. So that would be 70 years. Three score and 10 I can remember well, within the volume of which time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings. He's commenting on how, having lived 70 years, all of his experiences prior to this seem like trifles in comparison. Okay? Ross says, Ha, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is it night's predominance or the day's shame that darkness does the face of earth entomb when living light should kiss it? Ross is here commenting on the time of day. So it's daytime and yet there's no light, right? So again, because of the deed that's done, which is unnatural, okay, the natural world also reflects that. The old man says, "'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked and killed." Okay, so the old man also furthers this idea of unnatural things occurring by saying that a falcon had been attacked by an owl, right? So typically that's not how nature works, okay? Ross continues with this by saying, Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience, as they say would make war with mankind. The old man says, "'Tis said that they did eat each other." So he's reporting that people are talking about how the horses ate each other. That would have been unnatural. Okay, a lot of strange things occurring in nature here. Ross. They did so to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Ross is saying that he saw it happen. And now enter Macduff. Remember, I said he's a very important character. Here comes the good Macduff. What goes the world, sir, now? Why see you not? Ross. Is it known who did this more than bloody deed? Those that Macbeth hath slain. Alas, the day! What good could they pretend? In other words, here, what good could come of that? Why would they kill King Duncan? They have no reason to. Okay. Now Macduff says they were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed. Right? So in other words, they were made to do this. And presumably people think Malcolm and Donalbain had committed this deed. Okay? But Ross says, against nature still. Okay, so furthering this idea that this is not natural, okay, it's against nature. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth, right? Since Malcolm is nowhere to be seen, he is the Prince of Cumberland. He's not around. The next in line to the throne would be the Thane of Cawdor, which is now Macbeth. Macduff says he is already named and gone to Scone to be invested. In other words, he's already been appointed and he's on his way to the coronation. Where is Duncan's body? Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardians of their bones. Will you to Scone? Scone is where Macbeth will be crowned. So that's where the coronation is happening. And Ross is asking Macduff, are you going to go to the coronation? Now, interestingly, Macduff says, no, cousin, I'll to Fife, where I will thither. Well, I will thither. So, I'm sorry, let me back up for a second. Macduff says that he's not going to the coronation. He's going to Fife, which just so happens to be where his home is. So why is he not going to the coronation? That's interesting. Ross is going to go. He says, well, I will thither. I will there. Macduff says, well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new. Farewell, father, Ross says. God's benison go with you and with those that would make good of bad and friends of foes. So as I said, very short scene here. Ultimately, it's furthering this idea that the unnatural deed, that the deed that's been done is unnatural, and the natural world is reflecting that as well. And that is the end of Act 2, which had been the rising action. So we're moving very quickly towards the climax of the play, which will be Act 3. All right, signing off. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.